In a quaint little village, there lived an ordinary man named Samuel, alongside his wife and their 2 children. Though they led a simple existence, Samuel was perpetually anxious about the future of his family. Each day, he contemplated how he might be able to secure a better life for them. Yet no matter how diligently he toiled, his fears lingered. One day, Samuel learned of a revered saint, reputed to possess the wisdom needed to bring solace to any troubled heart. Desperate for guidance, he sought out the saint and laid bare his concerns. The saint listened with patience before responding. "Your fears are merely illusions. The world will not come to a halt when one person departs. Your family will navigate their path, with or without you." Samuel felt a profound impact from these words, but uncertainty still lingered. The saint then proposed a peculiar offer. Abandon everything and commit yourself to a life of spirituality. Release your worldly attachments, and you shall discover true peace. Samuel hesitated, worried about who would care for his wife and children, asserting that they needed him. The saint smiled, saying, "You underestimate the strength of those you love. They will manage without you. It is your mind that struggles to accept this." These words echoed in Samuel's thoughts. The following day, he revisited the saint's hermitage to participate in a spiritual gathering. As the saint spoke of detachment and devotion, Samuel finally resolved to stay and dedicate himself to the divine. However, one concern gnawed at him. How could he explain to his family that he was leaving them forever? Sensing Samuel's inner conflict, the saint devised a plan. He taught Samuel the technique of holding his breath for extended periods, a skill that could make him seem less. "Use this wisely," the saint advised. "Your family will believe you have perished, granting you the freedom to pursue your spiritual journey." The next morning, Samuel followed his usual routine, taking his family to the river for their daily bath. While they played in the water, he discreetly held his breath and submerged himself. His family panicked, searching for him frantically. Hours passed, but when they were unable to locate him, they believed he had drowned. Heartbroken, they returned home to mourn their loss. Meanwhile, Samuel surfaced from the river unnoticed and made his way to the hermitage, leaving his past behind. Days turned into weeks as he immersed himself in a devoted life, yet his heart remained restless. He yearned to know how his family was faring. Did they miss him? Were they struggling? One day, his wife came to the saint's hermitage seeking blessings. As soon as Samuel heard her voice, he concealed himself behind a pillar, eager to listen yet fearful of being spotted. Saint welcomed her with warmth and inquired, "Daughter, we mourn the loss of my dear disciple. How are you managing?" Samuel anticipated her to break down in sorrow, but she replied with quiet strength, "No one can replace him, but life must go on. My children and I have found our way. We are doing better than before." Samuel was taken aback. How could she say that? How could they find happiness without him? The saint, noticing Samuel's reaction, simply smiled. Later, he said, "Now do you comprehend? They are not weak. Your absence did not devastate them. They have learned to survive." However, Samuel resisted accepting this reality, desiring to test them. He spread a rumor in the village claiming that anyone who purchased food from his wife would face misfortune. The villagers, fearful of bad luck, ceased buying from her. Days went by, yet to Samuel's astonishment, his wife remained composed. She discovered new ways to provide for her family, while his children continued their studies, and laughter still echoed in their home. Frustrated and defeated, Samuel decided to return home. Late at night, he knocked on the door, and his wife's voice came from within. "Who is it?" "It's me, Samuel. Open the door," he whispered. A long silence followed, and then she said firmly, "This is not a time for jokes. My husband has been dead for 2 months. Whoever you are, leave. No, it's me. I never died. I was with the saint all this time. Then you are no longer the man I once knew, she replied, her voice unwavering. The Samuel I loved would never abandon his family like that. My children and I have built a life without him, and we will continue to do so. Please go back to where you came from. Samuel stood frozen, realizing the harsh truth. He had left, believing he was essential, but life had continued without him. With a heavy heart, he turned away, finally grasping the lesson the saint had endeavored to impart. Life does not pause for anyone. We may think we are crucial, yet the world advances with or without us. True strength arises not from dependence, but from resilience. Samuel had believed that his family would crumble in his absence, yet life persisted, demonstrating that no one is irreplaceable. His wife's steadfast determination and his children's adaptability revealed that challenges can be overcome through courage and perseverance. Clinging to ego and seeking control over others merely results in suffering, while acceptance and humility usher in genuine peace. Ultimately, Samuel discovered that real devotion does not entail abandoning responsibilities, but rather embracing the truth. Life moves forward, regardless of our presence,